Hello everybody, my name is Serious Blue, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to build the best simple iron farm for Minecraft Bedrock. The reason I say it is the best simple because it is not the fastest iron farm you can make in Bedrock, but I took a bunch of different designs in the Bedrock community that are all generally simple, built them all hundreds of blocks apart from each other in this world, let each of them individually run for 1 hour, and the one that I'm going to be showing you guys today is the one that was the fastest. In 1 hour, this farm gave me 365 iron. Before you start trying to build the farm, make sure that you are at least 100 blocks away from anything villager related, whether that be villagers themselves, beds, or workstations. They will not allow the farm to work correctly. Now that you've gone 100 blocks away from anything villager related, you will need to mark out a chunk. This farm will completely fit into one 16 by 16 chunk. I'll put a link down in the description on how to find chunk borders and things like that, along with the materials list for this farm. I would advise making this little design right here. That way you know exactly where the center of your chunk is, and then you're going to come along and dig a little 3x3 area out just like this right in the center. It's not going to be completely centered, but it's close enough. Place your chest right here along with your 9 hoppers running into this chest. Remember to crouch when you're placing your hoppers like this. Now you're going to take your glass and go 4 up all the way around this entire little area. And now on top of this, you're going to go ahead and place your building blocks. Now from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is actually build a platform that is going to be the entirety of this chunk. It is going to be 16 by 16. So you'll just do like this. If you did outline the border of the chunk, you'll just go right over the top of it just like this. Now once you've made your 16 by 16 platform, you're going to come to the side and make a 2-high wall that wraps around the whole platform. Now once you finish with all your walls, you're going to make a little 3x3 platform just like this, with the center being a glass block, and you're going to do that to 3 of the corners. Now what you need to do is make 3 little separate capsules for your villagers, just doing like this with your glass. And now it's time for you guys to go get some villagers. If you have rails, that'll make it really easy for you. You can just make a little stairwell up here. And then I would advise having a little backstop right here just so they don't shoot over the edge. And you can just have them fly right up into here and drop into the slot and then break the minecart. But if you do not have rails, I actually have a video on how to get villagers into slots like this just using boats and a water bucket, and I'll put the link to that video in the description. For this farm, you're going to need 20 adult villagers with no profession. You don't want the baby villagers because they could possibly grow up to be a nitwit, which is the villagers with a green coat, and they do not work. In order for your farm to work, you need at least 75% of your villagers to have worked the previous day in order to spawn iron golems. You also don't want a villager that you've traded with or a villager that is a part of an existing village. You just want a basic brown shirt villager just like this guy right here and all of these guys. If you want a tutorial on how I made this really simple villager breeder, I'll put the link down in the description. And you're going to be putting 8 villagers in this capsule, 4 villagers in that capsule, and another 8 villagers in this capsule right here. Now once you have all of your villagers in their respected capsules, you'll need to cover the top with a piece of glass. That way nothing can really get in there. And you will also need to put water right here at their feet. This will stop them from unlinking from their workstation. Now sometimes placing the water bucket in there can be a little tricky, so there are 2 options for you to go around this. The first option is to first place your piece of glass on top and then come to the bottom with a dispenser that is facing towards them just like this. Put your water bucket in there, then use a button or a lever and just dispense the water into there. Now the second option is for you to have placed your water before putting the villagers in there, then coming right over here and putting a piston with your piece of glass right next to it, and then putting a button or a lever and just pushing the glass on top of them. Now what we're going to do is take some temporary blocks and build 3 up just like this, and then you can break these 2, and we're just going to wrap these blocks around this little hole in the middle. And it should look just like that, and then we are actually going to go ahead and make it 2 wide. And so it should look just like this. It's just a little ring that goes around the hole in the middle that is 2 wide just like this. And now we're going to place our beds and make sure that your beds have these green particles every single time you place them down. If you were to place a bed down that wouldn't have the green particles, you would just simply break it and replace it. And so you're just going to go around and make sure that all of these beds get the green particles as you place them down. This is the sign of them linking to their villager. Now once you have all of your beds placed, you can go ahead and break all of these blocks underneath them. We will not be needing them. Now it is time for you to get your workstations, and these are the only 6 workstations you can use for this farm: the loom, the blast furnace, the cartography table, fletching table, smoker, and smithing table. All of the others will slow down the farm due to weather, or they will not conceal the villagers in their capsules. At this point in time, you should begin to see cats starting to spawn, and now what we're going to do is take our workstations, and you'll just come to this corner where you can see all 3, place one down, and you should see it linked. You'll see the green particles and the green particles wherever the villagers are, and you're just going to come over and replace one of these pieces of glass. That way they'll be able to access it. You don't want to place it right here in this row or on top. You need it right here, just replacing the pieces of glass. That way they'll be able to access it and be able to work. And so we're just going to go about repeating this process right here, placing our workstations, finding the villager that links to them, and replacing them next to them. Now sometimes you may not be able to see the green particles, or you're questioning if it was that villager or not. But if you break it and you see those particles like you just saw over there, then you'll know exactly which villager it is. Definitely don't break both glass blocks on one side of a capsule, because you will have a whole bunch of villagers spurting out and you'll have to restart the whole process. After you finish your linking, you should begin to see your iron golem spawn. Now what you're going to want to do is place a block in all 4 of the corners around each of the capsules of villagers, and then we're going to be placing half slabs on top of all 4 of those corners along with the outer wall, and this will prevent any iron golem spawns or cat spawns out of the farm. Now once you're done with this, you can go ahead and place a piece of glass on top of all of the workstations to prevent any mobs from spawning on there. Now we're going to start the second layer, and it's going to be right on top of these beds, and you can just crouch place your blocks right on here, and we're just going to go around the little circle in the middle just like this, and now you can make your 16 by 16 platform. Your second 16 by 16 platform should line up with the one right below it, and now what you're going to want to do is make a 1 high wall that you wrap all the way around this thing. Once you finish your wall, you're going to place 3 blocks in the corners just like this. This is to help the water flow in the right directions towards the center, and then we're going to cover everything on the outer edge with half slabs. Then once you've completed all of this, what you're going to want to do is come right here and place your sign just like this. Place 1 sign on top, 2 signs facing this way, and then 3 on either side just like this. You're going to be placing them directly onto the signs, and the purpose of the signs is to stop the water from flowing down into this tube. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and repeat this to this layer as well. The next step is for you to come down here into this little chamber, and you're going to be placing 9 signs right here just like this, and the signs are going to be holding up the lava source that is actually going to be the thing killing the iron golems. And so what you can do is just place any block right there and place a bucket of lava. You don't have to fear, the signs will protect you. You can walk under here without being burned. Break that block, and then we can place our campfires right under here. The purpose of the campfires is to kill all the cats because they don't always die to the lava. And you can use a soul campfire, but it won't really make a difference. It's just going to change how it looks. So you could make something that looks really cool. Cover this back up, and now your kill chamber is set. We're going to be placing a lot of water down, so an easy way for you to make yourself an infinite water source is just make a little 2x2 area just like this, and then you can place 1 water source right here and 1 in this corner, and now all of this will be an infinite water source. Now what we're going to do is come right here into the bottom layer just like this, and in the corner that has no villagers, we're going to be placing a solid block with a water source right on top. Skip a block and then place water sources all along the wall like this. We're going to come right here to this wall as well, and this wall over here, placing water sources all along. Finally come over to this wall. Watch out for the iron golems and cats. And then we are not going to place a water source in these 2 corners. If you were to place a water source in these corners, it would fill up this whole area with water sources. The water would not flow to the center, and you would have a huge mess on your hands because you'll have to fill up this whole thing with blocks to get rid of all the sources. Replace that, and then we're going to come to the top, and in all of the corners you're going to be placing a water source on the top, skipping a block, and filling up to the next spot. Remember to skip in the corners and just filling up the entire wall just like this. And now your waterways should look just like this, and all of the iron golems and cats should be flowing right into the center, falling into the kill chamber. Another thing you can do to help prevent your villagers from unlinking from their workstations and despawning is to go ahead and trade with all of them. I really hope that helped you guys out. I know villagers can be a real big pain, but I trust that you guys got this. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Peace.